Well, a warm welcome to today's talk, and it turns out that these masks we wore for such a long time are actually completely useless, as indeed are these paper ones that we also wore for a long time. So they don't seem to do anything at all according to the data, and as well as that, they make your glasses steam up. Now, welcome. It's these respirators in healthcare workers made essentially no difference when used in routine care to reduce the spread of viral infection. So there we go. That is the author's conclusion. This is the paper here, and it is a very comprehensive Cochrane review. It's available freely. It's a very comprehensive piece of work. There's a plain language summary, there's an ordinary abstract, and there's a huge amount of detail there, citing in great detail all of the literature. It's pretty well a day's work to read it, actually, but it's all there. So what is it telling us and why we were wrong? And YouTube allows me to apologise for advocating mask wearing, because it doesn't have a particular policy about mask wearing. Anyway, do physical measures such as hand washing or wearing masks slow down the spread of respiratory viruses? Now, today we're not going to do hand washing. We're just going to look at the masks. We might look at hand washing, which does have some efficacy, but the mask wearing doesn't. Evidence published up to October 2022. So, reasonably up-to-date study. Now, the background here is they've done previous work on the 2009 H1N1. They've done work on SARS coronavirus 1 in 2003. The COVID pandemic, of course, updated the Cochrane review that was last published in 2020 with all the latest data. So this is as up-to-date as we get. And this is as definitive as we can be as we speak now on Thursday, the 2nd of March, 2023. Main results: 11 randomised controlled trials and cluster randomised controlled trials. Now, a cluster randomised controlled trial just means instead of taking individuals in a trial, they take groups. So a group of people who wore masks and a group of people who didn't wear masks. Perfectly legitimate, well recognised research method. 78 randomised controlled trials. Now, first of all, the data on medical surgical masks compared to no masks. Wearing masks in the community probably makes little or no difference to the outcomes of influenza-like illness. Wearing a mask may make little or no difference to how many people caught a flu-like illness, according to the plain language summary. So, does wearing masks protect us in the community against becoming infected with COVID and influenza? No, not really, according to this. Risk ratio is 0.95. In other words, you could argue there's a 5% protective effect, but you can't really, because there's a range. It's 0.84 to 1.09. And they can only give moderate certainty evidence. Now, this moderate certainty evidence, of course, is that it makes no difference. So they are moderately sure that it doesn't make any difference based on the summation of all the data from all these clinical trials in what is a fairly sophisticated Cochrane review. 9 trials, 276,917 individual participants. Moderate certainty evidence, it made no difference. No difference in how many people caught flu-like illness. So there you go. I was wrong all that time. Wearing a mask in the community probably makes little or no difference to the outcome of laboratory-confirmed influenza. So this is laboratory-confirmed influenza or SARS coronavirus 2. So what about laboratory-confirmed diagnosis? What's the difference there? Well, the relative risk is 1.01. In other words, you could argue there's a 1% increased chance of getting a positive diagnosis of COVID or influenza, but of course, in practice, it makes no difference.